Welcome to RidgeLife. I'm Tim, and today we are at the log home build site once again to install a concrete pad for our HVAC unit. We are installing a package unit back here on the back side of the log home. There's not much room inside for a conventional HVAC internal A-coil and natural gas heater system, so it's going to be an outside package unit. The natural gas furnace will be out here and the air conditioner, and then we'll be blowing the air in and out this big large plenum hole here. So we need a 71-inch by 63-inch by 4-inch deep concrete pad poured here. So we need to start digging this out, forming it up, getting a little gravel bed put in, get it all leveled out so we can get the concrete poured in as soon as possible because the HVAC unit is coming soon. Now we only got to be 2 inches below the lip of this opening here, and we're about 8 inches to this level ground here. So my pad's going to be up a little bit, so I'm going to form this up with some 8-inch boards, and then I'll raise the bed up here with dirt and gravel, and then we'll have a 4-inch thick concrete pad on top of that, again 2 inches below the lip of this opening here. So it should work out pretty good. We'll start off here by cutting 2 63-inch boards and 1 71-inch board. The 2 63s are the ones coming away from the building. Now the concrete's going to go all the way up to the foundation, so we'll have a 71-inch on this side. So that's what we're going to form it up with. Again, 63 all the way across here. We'll get this cut. 2 63s, 1 71. There we go. Now we got it laid out approximately where we want it. Now I kind of failed to mention a while ago, when you're cutting your 71-inch width board, you need to make sure it's about 73 to account for the 1.5 inch boards on the other side. If you use 2x4s or 2x7s or whatever you use, don't just cut it 71 inches. You're going to be short on your width. So we got these cut out. Now I have to start leveling things out. I want to be 2 inches below the lip for the top of my forms, and we're going to do a 4-inch deep. So I got to start building this up a little bit to get that to work. I'll get stakes in the ground, get those in the ground, then we'll screw in our forms to those. I'm going to need to cut 9 stakes. Again, that's what we're going to drive in the ground that our forms are going to attach to give us a good level form foundation for our concrete pad. So let's go ahead and cut 9 of these. Cut 2 of these in half. There we go. 2, 4. Now we've got our stakes ready. Let's start to see where they need to go. We've already got our marks on the wall where they need to be, our boards, so we'll go ahead and pound our outer perimeter stakes in. Now, I want my form to be square, so let's get this to the face of the brick here. Gotta do the same thing on this side. Now that we got our outside 4 posts square, we're gonna have our outside board straightened out. Now I can get my exterior post for them. It goes all the way against. Make sure it's up there. Yep. Get my square. Make sure everything looks good here. Wow, that is square. That was square perfectly. That'll never happen again. That one's square. Don't you love when a plan comes together? That's awesome. Now that we got everything squared up, we can get our post pounded into the ground. All right, now let's go make sure we're level, and we'll get that end done. All right, okay, let's make sure it's level. Yep. I like it. I think I'm gonna lift this end up just a hair though. We are all formed up and square now, and you can see I got a gap under my boards there. So I got to start filling in all this dirt, build this up nice and level and compact. Has to be very, very compact. Then I'm going to start bringing in some light gravel on top of this dirt bed, and that's when we're ready to pour our concrete. Now you see my stakes are below the level of my forms. That way when I go to smooth it out, I'll get a 2x4 and I'll smooth out the concrete along the top, give a nice smooth edge, and then we'll put a surface on it. I'll show you how to do that when it comes time. So let's start getting this dirt moved and move on to the next phase. We won't get this done today, obviously, but we'll have it all formed up and the dirt pushed out. The sun's going down on us, but we got our dirt in and we've got it pretty much leveled out. It's about 5 or 6 inches below the lip of our form. Now again, we're going to pour a 4-inch deep pad. So we're going to come back another day and put some sand down, compact that really nicely, and then we're going to put some light gravel on top of that, compact that down, let it settle. We got to let that dirt, sand, gravel settle. That way when we pour our concrete, it doesn't settle uneven, doesn't settle lower than the 2 inches we need below our lip there. So having your foundation, the dirt, sand, and gravel, nice and compacted, not going anywhere is very, very important before you pour your concrete. So we'll get that done, come back, so we'll see you then, and it'll be another day on the ridge. We're back at the work site and we've got almost 2,000 pounds of bagged concrete here. This is a Sackcrete high strength concrete mix, not the fast setting kind. You don't want the fast setting kind when you're mixing up these batches, because you get that in there and it starts to set before you get the last batch in. You're not going to have a uniform, strong pad, concrete pad. So don't get the fast setting on a job like this. So almost a ton. We used a application on the Lowe's website to determine how much concrete you need to do a job. 71 inches by 63 inches by 4 inches deep puts us just under half a yard. I calculated a little bit more, almost towards 5 inches, just to make sure I had enough bags of concrete, because you do want to be short when you're doing your concrete. Can you imagine if you're 2 bags short and you're a little bit low on your pad and you have to run and get some? Not going to be a good day. That starts to set up. So let's get to mixing this and I'll show you how. Before we get started mixing our first bag, I want to go over some of the materials you're going to need. You're going to need a 5-gallon bucket for water, of course a water supply, something to mix your concrete in. I've got this dumpable wheelbarrow. You can have a regular wheelbarrow, concrete box, whatever you need. You can actually rent one of the concrete mixers that has the hand mixer. You have electric, also you have the kind you just keep it in hand. Those are really, really nice. You can put all your concrete in there, get it all mixed up, and do it in one pour. We're going to be doing it in multiple pours here with this wheelbarrow. So you're going to need a shop broom, and I'll show you at the end what that's for. A hoe, garden hoe, and a garden rake. Those are really, really good to get you going with this. Of course, a nice narrow shovel helps as well. So let's get into our first bag and I'll show you how to mix that. These are 80-pound bags. You can get them in 60, you can get them in much smaller. If you're having a hard time moving 80-pound bags, you're going to pay a little more and it's going to be a little bit more content to buy. So we're going to mix up 3 at a time. It's going to take me about 20 to 23 bags in here, I've estimated. So it's going to be a few times of mixing this up. So I'm going to start with the concrete in the back, put my water in the front, and use my hoe to slowly bring the concrete down. I'll show you how to do that. It's very, very simple. We've got our 3 80-pound bags of concrete, and I got about 3 gallons of water prepared up in our 5-gallon bucket. Takes about 3 quarts of water to 1 80-pound bag per Saccharite's instructions. You may want to go closer to a gallon a bag, give you the texture you need, especially if you're going to be dealing with in batches. That way it's liquid enough to get it mixed really well. So 3 quarts per 80-pound bag is what they recommend. I'm probably going to go closer to a gallon or just a little bit more per 80-pound bag to have the liquidity, the viscosity I need to get it all mixed up in our pad here. If I was just doing one batch, 3 quarts would probably be just fine. So let's go ahead and get our bags opened up here. I'm going to bring it to the back here. That way I'll put the water in the front and then I'll knead in the concrete to the water. Some people say dig out a depression in your concrete and fold it in that way. I prefer to put it all in one end and bring it over. So here we go. We've got it set up like that. Let's go ahead and get our water in. Again, I'm going to start off with about 1 gallon of water. And then start folding this concrete in, folding it in, just on top, get it all mixed in. Again, I've got 3 80-pound bags here. Here we go. Just keep folding it in. The water will try to rush over. Get all that water. You don't want a soup. You don't want a soup, that's for sure. We'll get it mixed in here. Down below, get the right consistency, add the rest of our water. I'm a little bit on a slope there, so I should be folding in that side. All right, let's get some more water. Second gallon. Fold it in, fold it in. So much easier moving a little bit of gravel to the water than trying to move all this concrete mix in big shovel portions. So much easier. Just gotta get down to the bottom. You wanna make sure the bottom of your container is all mixed in. Don't want any powder. We'll go ahead and dump our concrete now. Get it up in the bucket. Here we go. See if we can start pulling it into our forms. Oh, that's a perfect consistency. I like that. Get all this in here. Takes a lot of concrete, people. A lot of concrete to go get your job done. If you get a little on the ground, it's not that big a deal. You can clean it up when it hardens. I'll move all this away since we're going to be putting the rest of it over there. Get it back over here. I don't need to do a wire frame on this. It's not really thick enough, and this high strength concrete should just do just fine. We got our dirt level, so get all this pulled out. We'll be ready for the next batch. Having the drier stuff in the center also helps me be able to stand on it. I couldn't stand over there, that's real mushy. So we'll get the wet stuff in here and then it'll all be mushy, get it all mixed in together, and we'll have a good uniform concrete pad ready. I never said this was the easy way of doing it, but it is definitely a cheaper way of doing it. I got about $100 into it, and it took exactly 22 bags. That's what the Lowe's concrete calculator said it would take, and that's exactly what it took, 22 bags. We got it semi-leveled out here. Now, we could use some specialized concrete trowels and tools to surface this. Again, I'm cheap. I got my own bucket, I got my own garden tools, got my own wheelbarrow. Didn't use anything special for concrete. I'm not a professional contractor. I'm just a homesteader on YouTube building a log home and doing things around their property. So we're just going to use a big board. We're going to move that across here to level out this top. Remember, our form is already level, so we're going to get this completely level, and then we're going to use a shop broom, the bristles of a shop broom, to lightly go across the top and give it that textured surface. So it's going to work out great. We've got a nice, perfect level. You can see some of the little bit of bubbles coming up. We tamped it really good, get as much air pockets out as we can. A few of the little bubbles come. We've got a really great texture I see going across it from the oscillations of our board. But a little trick, I like to use a push broom, a shop broom, and these little bristles will give you a really cool texture, rough enough so you don't have any slip and fall. Of course, we're gonna have a AC unit on top of this, but so you just take it across and you just lightly, I'm talking ever so lightly, just rub it right across the top. Just right across the top. It's gonna give a nice, awesome looking texture across it. Looks really good. Perfect. Real smooth, even so you don't get any oscillations. Back up. Come on now. Looks good, nice and smooth. Off to the side. Oh, that looks great. I got one little wiggly line there, but that's not too bad. Let's do this next. Should only have to do this 3 times across. Again, just lightly. Real lightly. Gotta keep it going straight, straight, straight. You can see all the water that's pulling up on the top. Oh, look at that, guys. That looks wonderful. Here we go. Last time. Get it right across the top. Again, just a light texture. Getting that excess water off there. Straight lines. That looks good. The last thing I want to do is put our mark on this log home, and this concrete pad's going to be the way to do it. I'm going to put the RidgeLife logo with a 21 next to it to designate this was the year we built our log home. So let me go ahead and just get our logo in here. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. We got our RidgeLife logo embossed on our concrete pad, and that looks cool. Going to be here for many, many years to come on the ridge. That was not an easy job, but it was a job well done. I love the texture on it. Everything's settling out nicely. We've got our RidgeLife logo and a 21 embossed into the concrete to be there forever and ever. We'll come back in a couple days after this cures up and take a look at it and see what it looks like as a finished product. So we'll see you shortly. We are back to our concrete pad site. It's been a few days, and one last hint on having a really strong, really long-lasting concrete pad is to make sure you control the rate at which it dries. You can do that a couple different ways. You can put plastic over it as soon as it sets up a little bit. Another thing is to spray it with water 2 or 3 times a day. You want to make sure that the outside does not dry too quickly, especially if it's a warm, dry summer day. If it's really, really cold at night, you don't want to put the water on it. You can put the plastic over it to help insulate it. But again, controlling the amount of moisture in your concrete will give it a very, very long life, very, very strong, uniform curing time. Our concrete pad is ready to inspect. Let's get these forms off and see how it turned out. Looks like a concrete pad, a little over 4 inches thick. Forms are off and this pad looks wonderful. We'll get the HVAC unit installed on it this week. We're going to come back also and backfill all the way around it with some more dirt here just to ensure that the sand, the gravel, and the dirt under it doesn't wash out over time. This pad's going to last a very, very long time here on the Ridge. If you like today's video, please give it a thumbs up. You can see this beautiful log home behind us. We've got playlists here on our Ridge Life channel of building this log home from the beginning. This was a field right here a year ago, and now we've got a beautiful log home that we're almost ready to move into. If you haven't already subscribed to Ridge Life, please do so now. Hit the notification bell to be notified anytime a new video comes out. And until next time, I hope everyone has a blessed, blessed day, and go Ridge Life. Oh, it was not in there. What did I do with the knife? What did I do with the knife? Huh. Oh man, I put it in there. Guess I'll find out. What did I do with it? Huh. All right.